You could feel the air change in the building, that instant when thousands of people ask the same silent question. What just landed on the court? In late July, at least 2 arenas saw play stopped when a bright green object, an obscene prop by any reasonable standard, hit the hardwood near live action. Security moved fast. Players stepped back. Fans looked at one another, half embarrassed, half angry. This wasn't a beach ball at a concert or a rally towel missing its mark. It was deliberate. Then came the second incident. Different city, same playbook. Object lands, play stops, ushers and event staff rush in with gloves and a bag, officials huddle, coaches pull their teams together, and families in the lower bowl cover their kids' eyes without even thinking. By the third clip, it wasn't a fluke. It was a pattern. The object wasn't heavy, but that's not the point. Anything on the floor is a hazard. A misstep, a twist, a freak bounce. Players can get hurt at full speed. And the message it carries? That's a hit to dignity, not just safety. Police made arrests in at least 2 of the cases. Teams issued bans. The league clarified its stance publicly. Throw any object, expect ejection and prosecution. Inside the arenas, staff briefed ushers section by section. If you see a suspicious item, call it in. If you hear chatter about a stunt, escalate before it happens. Meanwhile, fans traded first-person accounts online. I was 6 rows up. It landed near the corner 3. Security was on it in seconds. No matter the angle, the reaction converged on one truth. This isn't funny. It's disrespectful, and it needs to stop now. And for anyone wondering if this was organic, the uniformity gives it away. The timing, the color, the placement close to the run of play. None of that feels random. It feels planned, like someone's idea of a marketing scheme. The sad part is how predictable that logic is. Spark outrage, harvest attention, claim mission accomplished. But the people paying the price were the ones who came to hoop and the families who came to cheer. Soon after the clip spread, a cluster of online accounts started winking and nudging, a crypto meme coin crew fishing for notoriety. They didn't invent the tactic, they just updated it. The recipe is old. Stage something provocative, ride the wave of free coverage, then funnel that attention into your token, your Discord, your wallet address. Make the stunt simple enough that it becomes a running joke, then act bewildered when anyone mentions harm. They framed it as protests against gatekeepers, as if that rebrand could change the target of their stunt. But the arena isn't an abstraction. It's a workplace with athletes, officials, ball kids, and event staff. It's a destination for families who saved up for seats along the baseline. Turning that space into a billboard for a token launch isn't rebellion. It's exploitation. The people who carry the risk don't get a vote. They only get the cleanup. If you study attention economics, you know the cycle. Shock, screenshot, share, reshare, and then the victory lap. Look how many articles said our name. That's why we're choosing our words carefully here. We're not naming any coin. We're not splashing identifiers on screen. We're not giving free promotion to people who targeted a women's league to provoke laughter and headlines. Let the algorithm starve their campaign. Let the record show only that a group tried to buy fame with other people's discomfort. And the fans, the teams, and the league said no. What really gives the game away is the choreography. The specific shade of green matching graphics circulating online, the sudden emergence of street team style accounts encouraging copycats, the smug claims of responsibility the moment coverage peaked. They want that dopamine of being the reason the news is talking, even if the cost is players dodging debris mid-transition. That's not activism. It's clout mining. And we're not investing. Here's how it unfolded from a fan's eye view. Late July. Your feed lights up with a clip from Atlanta. The camera doesn't linger, but you catch enough. A green object, a quick stoppage, a player motioning to the ref. The caption says, "What even is that?" And the comments split between anger and disbelief. A day later, you scroll again. New angle, new arena, same color. It's not a coincidence anymore. By early August, the pattern is obvious. Another pause in another building. Someone in your group chat says Phoenix got hit too. Broadcasters keep their composure, will step aside. But fans in the seats don't hide their reaction. Groans. Boos. A couple of people shake their heads in that, "I brought my kid to this way." Meanwhile, the online machine spins up. A handful of newly minted accounts brag about activations. A couple of crypto-themed spaces tease a big moment. And then, as if on cue, a claim of responsibility materializes. In between, you have the human moments. Ushers thanking the fans who pointed out suspicious behavior. A coach telling a ball kid, "Good job," after a quick cleanup. A player giving the universal, "let it go" gesture to calm the crowd. Those details never trend, but they're the ones you take home. The quiet proof that a lot of people are working hard to keep the arena a place you want to bring your family again. The timeline matters because it shows escalation and response. Incidents clustered within a short window. Arrests followed quickly in at least 2 cities. Bans were announced. The league reiterated zero tolerance. You can't always stop a first attempt, but you can make sure there's never a second. That's where we are now. Not in denial, not panicked, just practiced. See it, stop it, sanction it, move on with the basketball. We're the ones who create the soundtrack in these arenas. The buzz before tip, the gasp on a chase-down block, the roar when a deep 3 splashes. We believe in being loud and loyal and, yes, rowdy at times. But loyalty has a spine. So here's what we expect, and what we'll do to uphold it. First, don't feed the stunt. Don't repost the close-ups angling for shock value. Don't type the coin name in comments, just to ask a question. The algorithm can't tell curiosity from promotion. It only knows attention. Starve it. Second, report. Don't record. If you're in the building and see someone pulling a contraband item from a bag, flag an usher immediately. You don't have to confront anyone. You just have to alert the people trained to handle it. Third, model the culture. Cheer the plays. Boo the calls if you must. But show the kids in your row how real fans behave when nonsense interrupts the game. Start a "Let's go team" chant while the floor gets cleared. Applaud the staff doing the unglamorous work. Make the arena feel united around basketball, not bait. For content creators, yes, we see you, fellow YouTubers and TikTok editors. Your choices shape the story. You can cover this responsibly without amplifying the green object. Blur it. Crop it. Focus your edits on the stoppage, the response, the policy changes, and most importantly, on the highlights that deserve the screen time. Let the headline be "Team Adjusts, Wins on Defense," not "Stun Hijacks the Night." Finally, to sponsors sitting courtside, your brands fill the building with activations and giveaways. Join us in setting the tone. A single line in your pregame read, "Thanks for keeping our court safe and respectful," signals where your dollars stand. We, the fans, notice. We reward companies that stand with the athletes we love. We're not just here to complain. We're here to propose solutions that work in the real world. Start with pregame. Read a short, clear message over the PA during warm-ups. Throw any object, lose your ticket privileges, and face prosecution. Help us keep players and fans safe. It's not theatrical. It's preventative. Pair that with concise signage at every portal, and nobody can claim they didn't know. Next, coordination. Create a league-wide incident protocol card, 1 page, laminated, for every usher, every security lead, every game ops producer. When an object hits, clock stops, PA script, camera plan, wide angle only, floor crew out, culprit ID effort begins, law enforcement looped, incident logged. The same dance step in every city eliminates hesitation and keeps broadcasts from amplifying the moment. Deterrence should be visible. Publish post-game notes when bans are issued. People considering a copycat need to see the boring reality of consequences. Names withheld, but penalties clear. Consider a graduated ban structure that starts long and eases only through a formal appeal with proof of understanding and community service tied to youth sports. Not because you owe offenders a second chance, but because a measurable path back can be a stronger deterrent than a hollow lifetime promise no one actually enforces. Build partnerships, too. Work with ticket platforms to flag accounts tied to ejections across venues. If someone loses privileges in one city, that record should follow them to the next. And while we're careful not to elevate any coin, leagues can quietly consult with social platforms about de-ranking content that glamorizes disruptive arena stunts. No names needed, just category-level throttling so the oxygen runs out. Above all, Keep players at the center. In post-game pressers, encourage a standard line that refuses to dramatize the object and pivots to respect and the game itself. Empower captains to lead in-arena tone during stoppages. And when the schedule allows, celebrate the staffers who handle these moments. Give them a small on-court recognition. Culture is built by what you praise as much as what you punish. This season isn't just bigger, it's different. New audiences have arrived. Families discovering the W for the first time, NBA diehards sampling midsummer hoops, young fans who found their hero and followed her from college. With attention comes responsibility. To protect the product, to protect the players, and to hold the line on what we accept inside our arenas. There's a parallel conversation happening across sports about safeguarding stars and setting standards so rivalries can thrive without tipping into spectacle for spectacle's sake. You see it in the way leagues refine officiating points of emphasis, in concussion protocols, in improved broadcast practices that avoid replaying dangerous behavior for clicks. The WNBA belongs in that conversation. Not as a follower, but as a leader. It has the chance to define how a modern league balances intensity with dignity. This isn't about being delicate. The W has always been tough. Elbows, box outs, hard screens. Basketball is physical and proud of it. But there's a bright line between physicality inside the game and harassment imported from outside it. One earns respect. The other steals it. When the league enforces that line consistently, the story becomes the basketball again. Defensive rotations that hum, coaches making chess moves, shooters who bend geometry. And let's be honest, most fans are already there. They come for matchups, for narratives that unfold over weeks, for the joy a made shot brings to a kid in row 12. They want to see players celebrated for skill, not baited for clicks. When the league, the teams, and the fan base act together, stunts like this don't vanish because people become kind. They vanish because they stop working. We didn't fall in love with this league to become hall monitors. We fell in love because the game is beautiful. Because it's 5 players moving as one, reading and reacting at speeds that make ordinary time feel slow. Because one clean stop can flip a crowd from breathless to thunderous in a heartbeat. That's what deserves our attention. That's what deserves our applause. To the clout chasers, hear this clearly. You didn't disrupt a feed. You bumped into a community with a spine. We know our values. We protect our own. And we will not let your activations siphon dignity from the athletes who built this league with early mornings, sore ankles, and sweat that doesn't trend. Throw a contraband item, and you won't trend either. You'll just meet ushers who've rehearsed this drill a dozen times and a policy that never blinks. To the league, keep sharpening the edge. Make the rules plain. Enforce them without theatrics, without panic, and without loopholes. The fewer headlines your responses make, the more effective they probably are. To the players, we're on your side. Loud in the moments that require volume, quiet in the moments that require focus, constant in our support either way. And to the fans, our people, carry this standard into every building. Be the first to cheer a great rotation. Be the last to repost a clip that gives oxygen to trolls. Teach your kids that passion and respect can live in the same chant. If you run a supporters group, add court safety, zero tolerance for thrown objects to your pregame notes. If you run a podcast, give 30 seconds to the code of conduct before you dig into the X's and O's. We'll close with the promise that built court queens. We will always keep the spotlight where it belongs, on the basketball. On the blocks, the reads, the swagger that comes only from work done in silence. Hit subscribe, drop hashtag protect the game in the comments if you're with us, and tell us how your arena is stepping up. We'll amplify what works, call out what doesn't, and keep our focus, always, on the joy this sport delivers when the floor is clear and the ball is live. See you next game night.